Righty, let's go. Welcome back into the trade room round 2 edition, baby. Round 1 is done. The band-aid is being ripped off. We do no longer have to worry about stressing about picking 26 goddamn players to start with. It is all locked in now. You just get 2 or 3 trades a week. 46 trades for the season starts now. Thank fuck for that. Honestly, I was so over deciding who do I want. Do I want enough in that position, in that position? It's all locked in. Your family is here. You're going to abandon some throughout the season. You're going to gain some family throughout the season. But your family is here. My family, Galvin and the Chipmunks, for 2026 has been locked in. 1348 for me in round 1, which honestly I will take. If we have a look at the standings, I think I'm top 20, 18, 8, 9, 9, which I'll honestly definitely take. Some of the scoring this week was absolutely ridiculous, but if you have a look, so you won't be able to see my round 1 team, but I captained Cleary, so a good captain score away from going 1400 potentially. I didn't have Kalen Ponga. I ended up going Keeney and Farloga at the back, so all sort of felt like honestly it was close to probably the worst I could have done, right? In round 1, almost, didn't leave too much really. I left Noah Martin on the bench there as well, but realistically, I probably wasn't really in a world where I looked like I was going to play him. So I can't be too harsh on myself, but sucks leaving 116 on the bench. But the trade room, now that we're thick into the season, I'm going to show you how my team went in round 1, just give you a little review. I do obviously my Supercoach review, but just sort of go through my score once again. We're going to have a look at the top 10 trade-in plays for the week. We're going to have, should you buy them potentially? What's their buy signal? Should you just get them in straight away? Top 10 traded out players. Should you hold? Should you sell? Obviously, if you haven't got them, don't worry about it. We're going to do obviously captaincies as well. I'm going to have a look at the top 10 vice captains and captains for the week. I'll probably go through the top 5 like captain or vice captains, have a look at their stats and how it actually translates. Should you actually be vice captaining or captaining him this week? And then we're going to try and finish off, if we've got enough time, with some sit and starts for the week, just mainly sort of in my team that I'm looking at, I guess. All right, let's get freaking started, baby. All right, so I'm just going to go to my side of things. Let's go to the top 10 trade-ins for the week. Now, there's a couple different theories, a couple different sort of ways that you can go about round 2. Because round 2 is obviously overreaction week. It's panic week. People new to Supercoach will, go get people that turned up last week and go chase last week's points. People who, had a player shit to bed last week, they go trade him out, get rid of him immediately and say, fuck off, get rid of it. You can't go well again. People end up boosting, people end up trading. I can get both sides of the argument, but for me, it's round 1. It's round 1. Literally anything can fucking happen. Anything. We see it's probably the most irrelevant round of the whole season. And it's probably, there's obviously going to be a few teams that you looked at over round 1 and be like, okay, they're actually going to be pretty good. But I think I remember the Knights winning round 1 last year. Obviously, we always see some upsets. We tend to see some teams that play really well round 1. It doesn't reflect their season, and then vice versa as well. And then the Warriors got spanked last year in Vegas. Didn't reflect how their season ended up going. I know Metcalf, I think he got like a 14 in Vegas last year. Everyone started with Metcalf last year. 14 in Vegas, 400K. And people were like, nah, this doesn't look comfortable in the 7-roll. Trade him out. But he just got stage fright. I ended up holding. He turned up the week after against Manly. Ended up being finished. I think I traded him out for 650K. Ended up being a play every single week pretty much for me. He was absolute gold, Luke Metcalf. So there's obviously things like that. Jackson Purdue was another one last week. Struggled the first couple of games for the Cowboys. Cowboys are crap the first couple of weeks. Mate, as soon as he got into it, I think he had the Panthers the week after. I think he went 100 against the Panthers in week 3. I ended up holding him. from 200k, 220k, all the way up to 650 again. So it's quite important that you actually read deeper into it and maybe go, okay, maybe they just had a poor start to the season. Let's hold whether they maintain cash for a little bit, maybe whether they lose cash for a little bit. It's all very interesting. For me, how I like to look at round 2, I don't want to touch it. I think I've done that the last 3 seasons now. Unless it's an absolute emergency, you have to get someone in, you have to get someone out. They've got a long-term injury. I just think you just wipe the slate with round 1 and just go like, okay, I just don't need to even bother getting these players in. They've just either come off a ridiculous score, they scored a double in round 1, hint, or, you know, they've absolute career at round 1, or they just had an absolute shitter in round 1. You know, round 1 for a lot of these guys is sometimes they didn't even play a trial. Sometimes it's just literally getting the cobwebs out. So yeah, for me, I don't like to trade. I like to try and bank him. For me, that's, you know, obviously we've got pretty much 26 weeks to trade. That means I've got 46 trades now over the course of 25 weeks now. Obviously, you get 5 boosts for new super coaches there, where you get 3 trades a week. And then during the origin weeks is where you also get 3 trades to use. Now, new super coaches, if you do activate your boost, but you don't use 3 trades that week, you do not lose your boost. You actually keep your boost still. So just want to point that out there. So I always like to generally activate the boost for that week, just to see what it's like with 3 trades, see if it's potential. By all means, I will be boosting next week, and I'll probably be boosting the week after as well, just to try and get your team right. Prices do not change until after the round 3 game, after they've played 3 games. So trading this week as well, none of the prices change after round 2. None of them. Yes, they're going to have change and break evens, that sort of thing, but none of them change whatsoever. So it's just a little bit food for thought and how I think in regards to that situation. If there's a situation where I think I'm going to need probably 4 trades in the next 2 weeks, sure, I can definitely advocate for making 1 trade this week and boosting the week after. But like looking at my team, there was no disasters really. My starting 18, 52 was my flex score, which is pretty rare. I would honestly say the only disaster I had was Jonah Pezzett. And Jonah Pezzett's just a whole, like Cody Walker's my 581. He went 104 on the weekend. I'm really not too disgruntled with actually how my round 1 went overall. So just a little bit of food for thought, you know, bit of thinking how I look into it. You know, not tooting my own horn, finished top 700 last year. I had a couple good finishes before that. So I just think that's the way I like to go. I don't like to waste my trades. I think you should try and use trades early on, but maybe just give him another chance. You know, if you're looking at Rage Trading Swan, I'll just give him another chance after 1 game. But that's my spiel on it. Just, I don't have to say that shit ever again for the rest of the season. Here's it, top 10 trade-ins. Let's go. Noah Martin, 2RF, obviously 250k, scored a double last week. I think he went 116 last week because I left him on the pine, which sucked. But it's honestly, I would probably be looking at trying to get him in this week. Just because I'll probably look at 3 trades next week. I do worry about his minutes this week with Simi Sasungi there on the bench. Oh, sorry. Matthew Timoko there on the bench. I think Timoko is a starting center. I would not be surprised if there is a late change in that sort of aspect there. And then Simi Sasungi goes back to the bench, ends up taking 15, 20 minutes off Noah Martin. Noah Martin played 80 minutes last week, had about 45, 47 tackles or something ridiculous. So I get it. 250k minus 65 break even is going to make a shitload of cash. What I will say as well, if they go big in round 1, prices don't change until their 3rd game. How their average is done, how like the break evens are done, is by a 3-round rolling average. So the first round 1 is so irrelevant because once you get to after like round 4, that round 1 score is already dropping out. So you have the 1 big price rise, and then they're probably going to have a pretty high break even in round 2 unless they're replicating the scores that they've done from round 1 and round 2 and 3. So I just want to point that out there. If Noah Martin goes 40 this week, 40 next week, mate, by round 4, his break even is going to be like 60 or something, and will not be probably making a lot of cash. But Noah Martin, 250k, so he turned up last week. 24.4% of Supercoach are getting a quarter of Supercoach are getting him in. Nearly 40,000 people are trading him, which is wild. I also Got lucky there. It's a trade I do not have to make this week, so I'm very blessed in regards to that matter. But yes, I would potentially be trying to get Noah Martin. Is he a play this week? I'm not playing him at this stage. One to probably think about later in the week, though. Kalen Ponga, fullback, 608k, 8.1% trade in, break even of 8. Now, the main thing with trading Kalen Ponga is I think most of these trade-ins will be coming in from trading Scott Drinkwater out. For me, I would love to get Kalen Ponga in. I just want to see another week. He looked awesome in Vegas. He looked unreal. I just want to see it for another week. You can back it up against Manly, but if, then sure, I'll definitely be trying to get him in. But if he goes 60 this week, maybe it's just another think about it. So you just got to sort of think about that sort of stuff. Well, that's how I sort of think about that stuff there. Ethan Sanders, halfback, 246k, 7.1% trade in, break even of -43. I think this is a big overreaction. I think people are going Dan Atkinson to Ethan Sanders, which I think is sideways. Dan Atkinson, he got 34 all in base in Vegas up against one of the best defenses in the comp, if not the best. In Vegas, first game at 7 there. I know Ethan Sanders, he scored a try. He's not going to score every week, so you take away that try. It's still a score about 65 or something. Field goal brings it down to about 60 there. Ethan Sanders is not going to play every week. And the consensus with Manly is they're not going to be that great this year. Honestly, they're not going to be that great. For me, how I look at it is how would Dan Atkinson go against Manly? I think he could go 60. I think he's going to go over 50 against the Storm this week. My hot call for this week is I think Daniel Atkinson is going to outscore Ethan Sanders. That does not be me being a Wires fan and saying Ethan Sanders is going to go low against the Warriors. I just think we're overreacting to what happened in round 1. You may have got it wrong. I'm happy to say I got it wrong and we need to go to it. It just feels very sideways after one round, considering you're not making any cash on Ethan Sanders this week. Moses Leo, cheapy CTW from the Storm, 235k, 6.7% traded in, -47, break even. Depending on how your cheapies are looking, it's almost, I think it's going to look like a must-have for me next week. I've got 4 cheapies. I do not have Leo. One of the cheapies is Tom Chester, so big watch for me on Tom Chester heading into next week. Zach Labutt's back from suspension. That should probably push Tom Chester out, but I just want to wait and see. I have no idea what's going to happen with the Cowboys halves if they lose this week. Whether they boot Jack Clifford, put Jackson Purdue in the 6th there, I have no idea. It's Peyton Ball. I really can't predict it whatsoever. But at the moment, Moses Leo, for me, is looking like a must-have next week. Saurfire Logo, fullback, 511k, 5.4% trade in, -11 break even. You can definitely wait on Saur, 110%. Yes, he scored 116 or whatever it was, but mate, he was on about 50 with like 20 minutes to go in that game against a team that was absolutely flying. He scored 2 late tries that really did obviously boost up his score. He's not going to score a double every week, and he's not going to play a Parramatta Eels every week, and they're not going to put up 50 points every single week. 100% Sewer is definitely a wait and see for me as a trade-in. If you're looking at getting out drinking, you want to get in Sewer, I would just be waiting. There's a reason why Sewer's a 511k. There's a reason why Drinky is close to 800k. I would just be waiting and seeing. Same for this guy, Braden Trindle, 5'8", 417k, 4% trade-in, -47 break-in, coming off 133, absolute career best score. Averaged literally 40 last year, 41 or something. There is a reason why Braden Trindle averages 40. It's still Nico's team. He had 2 tries, 4 tries this last week. 1, he's not going to score 2 tries every week. 2, he's not going to have 4 tries this every week. 3, Sharks aren't going to put up 50 points every single week. And 4, Sharks aren't going to play the fucking Gold Coast Titans every week. In fact, they've got the opposite this week. They've got the Penrith Panthers in Bathurst this week. I think Braden Trindle is the biggest trap, probably going out of those 10 trade-ins there. For sure, something I will nowhere near be touching. If he goes big again, I will consider it, but I need to see it. His base is crap. It's still Nico's team. I'm happy with Cody Walker at the moment there. I'm not rushing to get Jonah Pezzett out just yet. I want to see how he backs it up. Trey Mooney, dual FRF 2F, 442k, 3% trade in, -3 break even. I think you can hold on Trey Mooney. I don't think he's a must have yet. He scored in Vegas. Take away that try, goes about 64. I think he played 55 minutes or something. So he's not going to make the biggest amount of cash. I'm intrigued to see how he backs up this week. He's probably going to make, I think he's going to make close to probably 100k, 150k, which is good. But it's not an absolute must-have this week. I would definitely be holding on Trey Mooney. Cody Walker, 5'8", 399k, 3% trade in, -23 break even. Now, I am very fortunate where I had both Trey Mooney, and now I've got 2 Cody Walker. It tonned up last week, 104 against Dolphins. 1, they're not going to average 40 points this season. 2, they're not going to play the Dolphins defense every week, which is probably one of the worst last week. What I would say about Cody Walker is he's probably going to be the dominant half. You had Ashton Ward, you got Bud Sullivan this week. You're probably going to have Jamie Humphries coming back next week. I still think he'll be the dominant half. You've got David Fafita next to him. You've got Latrell Mitchell, and you got Alex Johnson on his side as well. I want to see how he backs up against the Roosters this week, but the fact he didn't even score, I think he had 2 try assists. He had 4 forced dropouts as well. So close to scoring as well. So close to going 120 plus. He looked very good, Cody Walker. Is he a must-have for this week? Depending on your half situation, right? I would still be looking at playing Purdue this week if he's your 5'8" If you want to go straight from Pezzett to Cody Walker, and he's your 5'8" I think you can wait 1 price rise till after he gets back from the bye in round 4. So I think you can wait till round 5, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I think you can wait. But I'm very lucky to have Cody Walker. But obviously, I'm in trouble round 4 because I'll have to look at playing Jonah Pezzett. Ryan Cashman, 2RF, 235k, 2.5% trade in, -22 break even. Played 58 minutes off the bench or something in Vegas. I think he played a lot of the golden point as well. I think he scored 70 plus. This is looking like a trap to me as well. Would not be rushing to get Ryan Cashman in. You have to see how his minutes go this week against the Storm. There's surely, in my mind, no way he plays 50 minutes off the bench every single week. If he is, why isn't he starting? I just don't quite get it. It's an interesting one. I just want to see his minutes off the bench. He's never ever someone you play, in my opinion, because he's not going to score 70 plus every week. It's just a wait and see. If he gets another 15 minutes this week, sure, I'll consider it. Could be an easy 150k in the bank, right? Maybe even more, and go to like a mid-tier sort of 2RF. Just a wait and see for me on Ryan Cashman. Not someone I'd ever play. My depth is good enough. It's just a weird one. Just screams trap. Just screams goes back to 30 minutes off the bench. I would not be rushing to get him in. And then bottom one, 10th is Latrell Mitchell, CTW, 626k, 2.4% trade in. Break even of 15. Obviously, big one for Souths is the buy in round 4. So we only get 1 price rise before round 5, which may not be probably 50k max. Looking like a must-have, though. He was pretty heavily owned pre-season. He scored 113 in round 1. I would be advocating to get Latrell Mitchell. It doesn't have to be this week, but I think by round 5, you should be definitely considering getting Latrell Mitchell in. All right, let's have a look at the top 10 traded out this week. So these guys are, most of them are raised trades, in my opinion here. Let's go through it here. Scott Drinkwater, fullback, 793k, 9.2% trade out, 141 break even. Now, obviously, that price change will not happen this week. Scott Drinkwater, this has been the debate of the week within the Supercoach world. Do you trade out Scott Drinkwater? Rib cartilage injury, 21 in Vegas. If I had Scott Drinkwater, what would I do? I think I would hold. I would see how my depth is and see if I can potentially rest him. Price will not change this week. You need to see if he's goal kicking. You need to see how his ribs hold up. NRL Physio says it's a ticking time bomb kind of situation. 1 hit and he's kind of gone. It's going to make the pain even worse. Interesting one for sure. The last thing you want to do is trade out Scott Drinkwater. His goal kicking, he actually looks okay. He plays a Tigers defense, which is a high scoring game, and he tons up. That's absolute nightmare fuel. For me, instinct just from previous situations, is hold. You can always downgrade next week. You can easily downgrade, whether it's to a Sewer or KP next week. Do not have to play Scott Drinkwater. I get it, he's 800k. You do not have to play him in your starting 18 this week. I think he is a hold. Jacob Laven, 2RF, 300k, 7% traded out, break even of 40. Just looked disappointing round one. That's it was a big trap. Not going to get the minutes. I think he's going to get 50 minutes starting a week with Lecker replacing him. So, look, do you have to trade him out this week? No. Would I be fine with it? Like, yes. I'd probably just go Laban to Martin. Just put your hand up. You got it wrong. He's just not going to get the minutes that you're after. Daniel Atkinson, spoke about him with Ethan Sanders. Halfback, 235k, 6% traded out. Just give Atkinson another chance, man. Just see how he goes against the Storm this week. Then they've got the Eels in round 3 as well. Just see how he goes. Ethan Sanders, I'd say, has got a tough matchup against the Warriors this weekend in New Zealand. His big sort of first road trip. I'll just see how Atkinson goes, man. I just think of Luke Metcalf in Vegas last year. First proper game, starting in the side at 7. Just give him a chance. Just give him a chance, I think. Don't have to play him, of course. Cooper Buy, 2RF, 235k, 5% traded out. Unless you're looking at going him to Noah Martin, I would probably be holding Cooper Buy. He's not someone you have to play every week, but, mate, if the Titans lose again this week, Cooper Buy is so close to a starting spot in this team, it's not even funny. Mate, as soon as he starts, everyone's going to get him in. So, it's an interesting one. Maybe you can have him as a 2RF6 there. Maybe you can have Noah Martin as your 2RF5. Just, interesting one. I'm not in that position, fortunately. That's just definitely an interesting one. I just want to see how the Titans go this week. If you have to play Noah Martin this week, like if you're that struggling for depth, maybe you can just go Cooper Buy straight to Noah Martin, but I would not be advocating for it. Jonah Pezzett, 5'8", 235k, 4% trade out. Again, just wait and see. His team conceded 50. He played his old team down in Melbourne, one of the hardest places to play. Just wait. Just see how he goes. Okay, he's got the Broncos tomorrow. Just wait and see how he goes. He's got the Dragons round 3. He's gonna get better. Just wait and see how he goes. Obviously, I'm in a position where I have to play in round 4 at this stage. I've got an idea in mind of what I want to do in round 4, but just see and wait for Jonah Pezzett. He could go 50 tonight, and it completely wipes out that 17 that he had last week. Jesse Colquhoun, 2RF, 332k, 3.5% owned. Just looks like a bit of a plotter to me. I would probably be trading him out from him to Noah Martin. It's 80k cheaper. You're getting a guy that's going to be playing 80 minutes as well, 60 to 80 minutes, making more tackles as well, try scoring potential. Colquhoun is just not what people are looking for. McKinnon probably back round 6, round 7. Just not what people are kind of looking for. Jermaine Hopgood, dual Torah, front row forward, 518k, 2.6% trade out. Just hold Hopgood. Even with the sin bin, again, he's out this week, but just hold him there. He still scored 50 with a sin bin. He's going to have the minutes there. He still plays 60 minutes in a team that lost by fucking 50. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's actually still going to end up making cash a little bit in the future. Just hold Jermaine Hopgood if you are a Hopgood owner. Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, another debate this week. Dual front row, 2RF, 688k, break even in 97. I would just hold Tino. I get the Raiders trade. He looked pretty disinterested and pretty awful last week. But again, they lost by 50. Just see how his minutes go this week. Again, you don't have to play a 688k player. You do not have to play him. He is playing the Dolphins this week. I would not be expecting a blowout like they did against the Sharkies. Just see his minutes. Just see how he bounces back. He is a primo for a reason. Just see how he bounces back. If he doesn't, if he goes 50 to 650 again, obviously you can trade him out from there. Mitch Moses, halfback. I don't get this one. 543k, trade out by 2%. Mate, his team, he still scored 40 last week, and his team conceded 50. He had a missed goal. I don't think he had an assist either. That was just all in base. Mate, he could go 80 plus against the Broncos, and we'd just all be sitting here like, why did people trade out Mitch Moses? So hold. Miles Martin, front row forward, dual 2RF, 201k, 1.6. This is obviously enough for people's team. I'd say just going from Miles Martin to Noah Martin, which I can get. I have enough in my team. It's James Walsh, who's dual tour CTW. At this stage, I think I'm just going to trade out my Nuff next week and try and just generate as much cash as possible. Still haven't probably thought about that one. But you see, I looked through those top 10 trade outs. You can literally make a case for all of them not to be trading them out. Obviously, the big one is Scott Drinkwater. I would be holding for this week, not playing. I'll be looking at playing other people, just see how he goes. He might not even be goal kicking. He might still be goal kicking. He might look okay. We don't know. We don't know how Scott Drinkwater is feeling, but all signs do point to a future sell next week. Albeit I would just be holding. All right. Captaincy choices. Captaincies. For me, I'm this stage I'm potting up. I'm going to get some stats up for you in regards to all of these here. So, captaincies. Top captain player. Now, what I will say is Payne Haas was the most captain player last week. A lot of super coaches probably already, a few of them already probably given up already. So just take that with a grain of salt. That it's realistically probably about 15%, and I'd say Herbie's realistic, but Payne is probably closer to 15%. We'll see a better discrepancy about 5 or 6 rounds. You can trigger it by top 10% from there. All right, so Payne Haas, let's go through his numbers very, very quickly. Let's do it against. Okay, I just want to see how I can do it again. I'm just going to do it since 2022 because that's when he started becoming an absolute weapon. Could I trigger this by team? I don't think I can. Oh, actually I can. Excuse me. Filter by team, filter by opposition. There we go. How he's gone against the Eels since 2022. So, average of 76, which is pretty darn good. Vice captain, but honestly, it depends how he scores. You just sort of never know. He's played 45 minutes against them last year, 62, 53, 54, 80 minutes in 2022, 65. Very, very interesting when it comes to Payne Haas in that situation. For me, it's not a VC. I just think a VC, you want to go someone who can go absolutely bonkers. Probably has to score a try to ton up. We saw last week, I think he went 65. He didn't play, and he played 78 minutes as well. I get it. There's a lot of drop ball in that game, but bit of a weird one there for me. Herbie Farnworth. Let's have a look at Herbie. Let's go since he was at the Dolphins. Let's go since 2024. Let's go against Titans. Only played 3 games, so no matters. Average is 60.3. However, let's go by. I can do no position. Let's go by a bottom 8 team in the last 2 years. Averages, holy shit, 110. 110. I'll just bring up my screen for you here. Averages 110. So, last 2 years, he has played bottom 8 teams, 9 times? Dragons, Warriors, Raiders, Broncos, Tigers, Eels, Cowboys, and Cowboys. 71, 148, 104, 105, 180, 119, 74, 128, and 60. Holy motherfucking shit. Bases 65. I'm not a Herbie owner. I will be looking to try and get in Herbie as quick as I can. I have no idea who I'm going to try and get Herbie in for. Maybe it's a critter. I will be looking to try and get in Herbie as quick as I can. Can I do it on fine? Does that trigger by fine weather? So let's do fine by that one. This is in good weather, which should be good weather on Sunday afternoon. 122 he averages. Small sample size, I get it, but mate, he's definitely a viable captaincy option this week. Next on the list, we have got Nathan Cleary, 10% captaincy. I captained him last week. Let's see how he goes in the last. I'm going to do since 2020. That's when the Panthers started becoming good. Filter by the Sharkies. How did he go against the Sharkies? Only played them once a year. Must have been injured against 2024. Averages 78.5, so not the worst, but not the absolute best. Let's take away the Sharkies. Let's see how he goes against top 8 teams. Averages 83.4. Interesting one. So not the biggest score. He's obviously a pretty safe captaincy option. Not someone I'm looking for. I'm looking for upside this week. James Tedesco here. So would I captain Cleary? I haven't thought about it massively. I think Sharky's defense actually is pretty good. James Tedesco, let's do since 2020 as well, because he's literally been good for so freaking long. Let's do against the Rabbitohs as well. How is he going against the Rabbitohs since 2020? 87 average. Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good. Obviously plays them twice a year pretty consistently. 87 average, not too bad. Base of 40s. Base and power of 46. Has scored 19. That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tries against Souths, and that's about 12 game sample size. 12 games filtered. Not bad. Obviously, I think he's pretty consistent. He went pretty close to turning up last week against the Warriors. He just looked very involved. I expect a good bounce back from the Roosters this week as well. Kalen Ponga. Now, this one I would probably not be looking at. Let's do since, when did he go? 2022. Let's do that against. This is Rugby League Fantasy Pro, by the way, which I highly recommend. Wow, since 2022, Kalen Ponga has only played against Manly, only against Manly 4 times for an average of 60.8. All those games were at fullback, base and power 33 as well. I'm going to take away Manly. I am going to do against bottom 8 teams. How has he gone? Let's do fine weather as well. Averages 72.1. See, that's what I mean about Kalen Ponga. I just want to see how he goes. That's against bottom 8 teams in good weather. Averages just 72. I get it, he had that freakish end to the 2023 season, but I just want to see how Kalen Ponga goes. I get it, pot option, 4.3% captaincy. They play Sunday afternoon, I think, so I would not be VCing him. Obviously straight C, but I would not be looking to be fair, first Sunday afternoon game, so I can get the VC, and then if you're captaining Herbie Farnworth, I take that back. I would not be captaining Kalen Ponga. Maybe a VC if you think he can go large, but I'd probably be captaining Herbie from there if you are a Herbie captainer, or if you're doing what I'm doing. So there's your top 5. Now, what I want to do is, for me here, I'm going to go YVC at the moment. Sammy Walker. I think Roosters are in for a big game on Friday night against Souths. I think they can exploit their defense. I'm expecting a big bounce back. I think the Roosters were very average last week. So yeah, I'm definitely expecting a big bounce back. Only played the Rabbitohs 4 times in his career pretty much so far. Average of 57.3. Wow, that doesn't really spell a whole lot, does it? So 2022, has he played him anymore? Brings it to 57.2 average. So it doesn't have the best average against South. Maybe I should look into this a little bit more. It is just a VC. Okay. I just really like Sam Walker. I think the Roosters can actually put him some points last year. Let's see. I think they're a top 8 team though this season. Let's just see how he goes against like bottom 8 teams. I'm just very intrigued. Let's take away that. Out of the 8. Averages 68.8. Okay, maybe I have to look into this one a little bit more. He's had a couple injury affected games in it. Okay. Look, I've got the VC on Sam Walker at the moment. Maybe I'll look into that one a bit more. Payne Haas, I do have Payne Haas. I'm not keen on Payne Haas VC this week. If he goes big, sure, I'll take it. But for me, you probably want 110 at least to consider looping. Maybe early on, you probably think 100. But as I said, Payne Haas probably has to go 100 plus. Probably has to score against Parramatta to ton up. If they're blowing the Eagles out, he's probably going to be playing 55 minutes or 60 minutes max. So not one I am massively considering. And then my captaincy is literally 0.1% captain this week, which I was shocked to find out. Let me just confirm that, because I'm pretty sure that was what I saw, which is fucking ridiculous, I think. I'll bring up my screen for you here. Scroll down, mate. 0.1% captaincy owned. I think that's ridiculous. Against this Dolphins defense, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I'll show you my screen again here. Let's go in his career since 2023. Let's do by opposition. How's he going against the Dolphins? Only had 2 games against average of 39. He played 30 minutes against them last week, 54 in the 180-minute game. Let's do by bottom 8 teams in his career. Obviously, let's take away playing. Let's do playing at least 60 minutes. Sorry, I'll get that away. That I shouldn't have done that. Average is 78.5, which I don't mind. I think there's a potential Keanu Keeney bouncing back this week. I think he can go gangbusters. He scored 59 last week with an assist in a team that conceded 50. Very, very interesting one in regards to Sam Walker. So, one, I am Keanu Keeney, sorry, not Sam Walker. One, I am potentially looking at captaining this week. If I was to not go Keanu Keeney, who would I look at trading at? Because I may as well do my sits versus starts while I am here. Who would I potentially look at? Could I look at Nathan Cleary? Potentially. See, I reckon even Kalamatangi is a better VC option or C option than Payne Haas is. Which is, interesting. There, okay. I just keep looking Keanu Keeney. I'm like, I just think he's going to go massive this week. Maybe it's just a hunch. Maybe it's not. At the moment, Keanu Keeney, it's very much a pod captaincy. It could absolutely blow up in my face. But that Dolphins defense last week was pretty darn shite. So if I think the Titans attack can bounce back this week, you got to expect some sort of bounce back, right? So I just think it'll be a high scoring affair. Total is 56.5 for a reason. So yeah, at the moment, I'm captaining Keanu Keeney as a pod option, like ultra captaincy pod. Sits versus starts. I'm going to finish it off and then I can finish off the episode. So I'm going to go Harry Grant. I'm not playing Reed Money this week. I think he just gets probably in another 50 or so. Front row is Payne Haas and Keon Kalamatangi. I am at the stage playing Trey Mooney. I could honestly play Arama Howe. I was really impressed with how he played last week. He got 80 minutes as well, nearly scored as well. My tour Ras, Angus Cryan, Azayo, David Fafita. I'm expecting Angus Cryan to have a bounce back game. My reserve, I've got the reserve on Luciano Leilua. At this stage, I'm not playing Noah Martin. No, I'm not playing Noah Martin. I'm very scared though. Halfback, Nathan Cleary, not playing Dan Atkinson. 5'8", Cody Walker, not playing Jonah Pezzett. My center wingers, I've got Latrell Mitchell, Greg Marzu, Hamasi Makasini, Tom Chester, Base King. On the bench, Stephen Crichton's on the bye, so it's my loop option. I'm playing Fine Money. I'm not playing Setu 2. I think Fine Money, along with Keanu Keeney, I just think they can put up a fair few points, more than 10 that they did last week. Fullbacks, Captain Keanu Keeney, reserve on Suafa logo, and my flex is Samuel Walker, who I currently have the VC on. So, would I potentially look at playing Arama Howe? Potentially, I think I maybe over Trey Mooney. Would I look at playing Noah Martin? No, at this stage, no. Maybe him over Trey Mooney. Maybe Arama Howe over Noah Martin. I'm just not quite sure. It's one I have to decide. I'll probably get it wrong. But yeah, I'll probably get it. Yeah, wrong. But that's where I'm sitting, guys, for Galvin and Chipmunks for this week. Let me know what you think. 71k in the bank to use. Obviously not trading this week. Not trading this week for me. But that'll do it for me, guys. Going to hit the old frog in Toad. But that is the trade room for round 2 preview. Heading in, no trades for me this week. VC Walker, C Keanu Keeney. Have a look at the top 10 trade outs, top 10 trade ins, and then your captaincy options, the top 5 options heading into this week. For me, I just think you just hold for this week, depending if you've got massive disasters. I think Drinky is a hold, but that will do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching the trader, and the support on the show has been amazing so far. Make sure you go like and subscribe to the channel as well. Follow all my socials. They are there in my bio, or they're there on the screen there as well. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and cheers.